Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is November 13, 2014. My name is Nick Santiago. Thank you for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. We're going to start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. What you're going to see here is that the futures are trading higher by about 50 cents right now to 2036.75 per contract. You can see they're chopping around over here. They have definitely come off of the highs, and this is just in a very, very overbought market. We talked about that yesterday. If you just take a look at the daily chart here, you're going to see that this is just a parabolic move. So if you just take a protractor and you look at the angle here, you're looking at basically a 70, 75 degree angle. That is, in my book, what we call unsustainable. So either way, futures are coming in off the highs, but they are still positive on the session. So we'll see how it plays out. Either way, there are a lot of stocks out here to trade today. Looks like we just had some economic data released. Not that we even care about the economic data too much. It really doesn't matter. The market's going to do what it's going to do, and right now you have complacency at an extreme high. So we'll just see how this market plays out. Looks like U.S. jobless benefits claims increased to 290,000. I don't even think the market really cares about that so much. But let's get into some stocks here that really is moving markets today. First one I'm going to talk about is DreamWorks. DWA is the ticker symbol. It looks like Hasbro, ticker symbol HAS, we'll go over that stock in a minute, is looking to buy out DreamWorks. The expected amount is $30 a share. So if you own DreamWorks here, what I would do, the stock closed at $22.38 yesterday. What I would do here is just trail your stop loss. Find a comfortable level. Don't give back any gains. And say, hey, if this can go up to 30, maybe I'll cash out with even a higher premium. Trail the stop loss. But there's no sense to short it. There's no sense to do anything. Hasbro is trying to buy it. Now, if we take a look at Hasbro stock, you're going to see today the stock has had a little bit of a dip. Closed at $57.48. Right now it's trading at $56.25. When I see a stock like this, I have to think that it can come down to around 51 and a quarter. That's a level where you can get interested in Hasbro. There will be a short-term support level, probably around the 53.80 level. But for now, whenever you get a buyout or something like that that's going to take place, I always go with the more conservative level. And right now I would say that would be 51 and a quarter, 51.30, right around there. That's a very, very good level for Hasbro, even if they do buy DreamWorks. So keep that on the radar. And if you own DreamWorks, remember, all you're going to do is trail your stop loss, see if they can push this back up to $29, maybe $30. That's ultimately where the buyout is expected to take place. Let's take a look at Walmart. Walmart reported earnings yesterday. Looks like the stock is doing fairly well. Closed at $79.20. Now trading at $81.15. That's a decent pop for Walmart. I'm showing a ton of resistance right here at 81 and a quarter to 81.50. So I would not be getting involved in Walmart. In fact, if you own it, I would trail the stop. When it comes time for the opening bell, I'll look at this as a potential fade candidate. I'm not sure exactly what level it will be, but I may look to short Walmart right after the opening bell. Let's take a look at Cisco Systems, SCCO. Stock is trading at $24.90, closed at $25.11, so it's basically flat from the close. I wouldn't do anything with Cisco right now. If we get some kind of a sell-off here, which I think is very possible, a level I would get interested in the stock would be all the way down to $22.75. I wouldn't do a thing before then, so let's see if it can fall. But there's really no upside in Cisco here. The stock's holding up okay after reporting earnings, but again, it's more of a commodity than anything at this stage of the game. The only level I would get interested in it would be around $22.75. Other than that, leave it alone. Let's take a look at Kohl's Stores. Ticker symbol is KSS. Stock closed yesterday at $57.91. It is now trading at $56.32. It's been all over the map. So it's kind of in between here of what I would call a range. The high end of the range being $60, the low end of the range being $52.50. If it gets down to $52.50, $52.60, I would be interested in picking up Kohl's Stores today. Other than that, there's no real need to buy the stock. You could check out the earnings. You could check out the guidance. I think both were weak. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, if it got to 60, I would short it. If it got down to $52.50, $52.60, I would likely be a buyer of Kohl's Stores. Let's take a look at J.C. Penney. another retailer that reported earnings. The stock right now is trading at 7.25. I'm showing support around $7.02 and also at $6.50. Be very, very careful with this. The pattern is not a pretty one, so you want to be very, very careful with the stock. It is not showing a lot of strength. I do expect the $7.02 level to be tested at least predominantly today. Ultimately, we could test $6.50. With that being said, let's go over to NTAP. NTAP. What you're going to see here is that NTAP reported earnings as well. Stock right now is trading at $40.44. Closed at $42.31. A couple of levels I have here for this one. The first one would be around the $38.70 level. So I think the stock could give you some kind of support right around there. It might even be $38.50. It's going to be right in that vicinity. It's a very, very difficult one for me to pick exactly. And then after that, I mean, the stock can really trade down as low as $34. Well, I don't expect that to happen today. I want to be aware that it can happen, and then that would be another intraday bounce area. Let's take a look at CYBR. So this is CyberArk Software. This stock has only been around a short period of time. So I think it really debuted in September of this year. Hard to make a lot out of it. One thing I will say, it is trading at the upper end of its range. So if I were to just look at the stock on a daily chart, the low end of the range would be $30. The high end of the range would be around $39. So just take that into consideration. If you own the stock right here, please trail your stop loss. There's nothing to do here. Be very, very careful with it as well. It is a new issue. Let's take a look at Rocket Fuel. Ticker symbol is FUEL. Right now the stock is trading around $19 a share. Closed at $16.23. That's a pretty good pop. But there's a ton, and I use the word ton with a capital T, of resistance at $19. So again, let the stock prove itself. This is another stock that's only been around about a year, I guess. I wouldn't do much with it at this stage of the game. Again, if you own it, trail the stop loss. Otherwise, don't do anything. Let's take a look at Viacom. Ticker symbol is VIAB. This is a media company. Right now, the stock's trading at $70.02. It closed at $69.25. I don't know if there's a lot you want to do with Viacom at this stage of the game, but the gap up is okay. The stock closed at $69.25, so we're not seeing a big move. You could see an initial spike here, but that faded rather quickly. So we'll sit tight. This is one we may play during the chat room session today, so we'll see how it plays out a little bit later. Let's take a look at SPWR. This stock right now is trading at $26.25, closed at $29.15. I have gap levels for this one. We'll play this one in the chat room today at some point. So again, we'll look at this one a little bit later. I have gap levels for the stock, and we'll look to play this one a little bit later. I also have levels for Viacom, so we'll see how that one plays out also. But we will look to play that in the intraday stock chat. Let's take a look at Procter & Gamble. Looks like they sold off their Duracell battery unit to Berkshire Hathaway today. You can read all about the specifics of the deal. You know, there's always some kind of finagling going on in there whenever Warren Buffett's involved. Stock right now is trading at $88.40. It closed at $89.48. You would think that they sold a unit that the stock would go up, but it did initially, and then it came back down. So be careful with Procter here. I think a lot of that news was baked into the cake already. Stock has had a big run, so we would look for lower prices. One level that interests me with Procter right now is around $86.95 to $87. So if it got there, I'd probably look for an intraday bounce on Procter & Gamble. So keep that on your radar today. Those are some stocks that are in play, and we should get some trades off of quite a few of those today. With that being said, everybody, I finished up with all my stock work. Gold futures are trading up about $3.70 to $1,162.80 an ounce. Let's go to the GLD real quick. You'll see that's trading at right around 111.79. It closed at 111.50. So it's not doing it all that much, but it's up a little bit. Spot crude, or light sweet crude, I should say, is trading down 85 cents to $76.32 a barrel. That's a big hit. That's a big hit. Let's go to the USO, which is a way to trade light sweet crude. You'll see this is trading at $28.95. Closed at $29.14. So you can see it is reflecting the down move. Be very, very careful with oil. Oil may still have a little bit more downside to go before the final shakeout. So again, be a little bit careful with that. Quick futures check. Futures are trading higher by 50 cents right now. Again, good little bounce right around this 200-day moving average or 200-period moving average. Markets are still buoyant, but they have faded off the highs. We'll see how it plays out today. With that being said, everybody, I want to wish you all a great trading day, and we'll see you on the charts.